this. You're experiencing a red day, a red week, or a red month. Losses will happen and will always happen. And it's not exactly a party. But here is where emotional resilience kicks in. Think about it like your superpower in trading. Emotional resilience is all about keeping your cool, sticking to your trading plan, and staying confident even when you're in the red. Instead of dwelling on past mistakes or panicking, emotional resilience will help you view drawdowns as the chance to grow and learn. Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here with the weekly market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. So let's see what SPY friends brought us in the past week. It was a short week, inside candle, inside week, which means indecision in the market. If the market cannot decide where to take the SPY, to the upside or to the downside, we surely cannot decide. But overall, we can see this purple trend line holding the higher lows since October of 2022, almost 1 year of support. So as long as SPY is above this trend line, we are good to go. Long continuation above 455 area towards the 459. Above it, we are heading towards the 475 and then all-time highs. QQQ, same thing, inside candle holding above the 369, 370 area. We have this red trend line that helps us to identify that it is holding the higher lows. Long continuation above 380, 381, and then we are heading towards 388. Above it, we are heading towards all-time highs. We also need to prepare for both sides because no one knows what will happen next. And if we will reach this area of the 388, 2 or 3 weeks, and then bulls will give up without breaking up and above, we have some kind of a double top, multi-top scenario of the 388, and then this trend line will need to hold as support. Otherwise, we are heading towards the 356 and below it 337. Always prepare for both sides because no one knows what will happen next. We can only assume with high probability with the help of trend lines, Fibonacci levels, and the in-depth understanding of candlestick analysis and multi-time frames. Dow Jones, same as the SPY and the Qs, holding above this trend line holding the higher lows. Long continuation above 351 towards the 356. Above it, we are heading towards all-time highs. Breaking down and under, we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. Not surprising, Fibonacci gives us exactly the support together with this trend line. Below this trend line, 337 and then 325. And of course, everything you see in here on my channel is for educational purposes only. Always do your own due diligence. Also, let me know in the comments below what do you think about the new layout. Let me know. Very interesting to know what you think. If you like this layout, I will keep it. If not, we'll go back to the previous layout. IWM last week, bulls. This week, bears took all the gains and some. Now 180, 160 to the downside needs to hold. Otherwise, we're heading towards this red trend line. Bitcoin, another week, another doji indecision. So nothing much. Overall, we have Fibonacci levels for future resistance and future support. And we have these purple trend lines that helps us to identify that until proven otherwise, Bitcoin is in a downtrend. Ethereum, if you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos, you know these trend lines. And once again, another week, another doji holding above this white trend line that's holding the higher lows since June of 2022. But we also have a red trend line to the upside that is a very tough resistance since November of 2021, almost 1 year of resistance. We can see it also here very clearly. Ethereum in consolidation. Price range of Ethereum is getting tighter and tighter. Be prepared for both sides. No one knows. It can break to the upside above this red trend line. And then we have Fibonacci levels to the upside, breaking below a weekly close or 2 weeks below this white trend line. And here we have it. We have the 15, 1364, and then 12, and back to 10 to the downside. Oil, if you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos, last week we got a major break up and above this very tough resistance area. This red box, you know it, because we drew it few weeks back, and this red box was a very tough resistance since November of 2022. Last week of August, it broke up and above. Previous week, the week that just ended, continuation to the upside. 88.50 now is the resistance. Now 83.50 needs to hold as support. It needs to get retested as support, and then next leg up towards 95. If you find anything that you like, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, hit the notification bell. It will be much appreciated. Help me grow this channel so we can reach a broader audience and a wider audience to help more people to become a better trader each and every day. XLE broke above the 90.20, very tough resistance over here, very tough resistance over here, resistance over here. Now it needs to hold the support, and then next leg up towards the 94.70. SOXX still inside red uptrend channel. If you're looking to go long an SOXX, I would wait for another 2 or 3 days above 507, and then 537. Above 537 we are heading towards the upper red trend line, breaking below this trend line, 2 or 3 days below this trend line, and we are heading towards 467. Below 467 we're heading towards 434. Always follow price on multi-time frames, on the weekly and on the daily. On the daily, zoom in, zoom out to get a better point of your price action. Use Fibonacci levels, trend lines, and gaps to manage your risk. We have a gap to the upside at the 502, and we have a gap to the downside 462. 2 days below this trend line, and we are heading towards this gap over here. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Which gap will get filled first? And the SOXX. Apple, very bearish week, but overall 174 is holding, resistance 190. So until proven otherwise, we sit on our hands and we wait to see where. We don't even need Fibonacci. We have this resistance. We have this resistance, previous all-time highs. Now this is a support. Long, only above 183. Take under consideration that the 190 will act as a very tough resistance. Below 171, where price might be heading next. We can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high to the downside. Below 172, we are heading 165 and then 157. 157 was a very tough resistance. Once it broke above the 157, bull run all the way towards almost 200. Now, some kind of retracement. So after this bull run, some kind of retracement is very, very healthy. It's too volatile. The price of Apple in the past 2 weeks or so is much more volatile than usual, so be careful. AMD, still in this downtrend retracement until proven otherwise. If you want to go long, you need a weekly close up above this trend line. Until then, we are heading south. 103 needs to hold, otherwise this blue trend line together with the 97 and then 90 to the downside. Amazon moving sideways between the 130 to the downside, the support, 142.70 to the upside as resistance. Long, only above this one. And then we're heading towards the 160 area. Below the 131, 126 and 120 are the next resistance. Google. We have trend line. Helps us to identify that Google, until proven otherwise, uptrend. Don't fight the trend. The bigger the trend, the higher the time frame, the bigger the trend. So for now, we are in an uptrend above 138 and we are heading towards 144 and then towards all-time highs at the 151 together with this trend line to the upside. You can take screenshots or just watch this video over and over again. We can take also Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. There you have it. These are the next resistance to the upside for Google. Breaking below this channel, 129 to the downside and then 123 and 115. But don't fight the trend. For now, Google is in an uptrend. Microsoft finally breaking above the 330 area. Now we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, next resistance 338, 340, then 344, and then all-time highs. New all-time highs towards the 367. Breaking below this trend line, 311 is the next support. Meta with a crazy Thursday. But overall, doji indecision on Meta. As you can see, slowly, we have each and every candle, higher highs, higher lows. 296 now needs to hold. Above it, we are heading towards 315 and then 326. Breaking below the 296, no need to guess. 274 is the next support. Nvidia with all the noise, 2 consecutive inside candles. Before it, we had the doji. Doji, inside candle, inside candle. Price of Nvidia is getting tighter and tighter. Which way Nvidia will go? No one knows. But the one thing we can do is take Fibonacci and prepare for all sides. And here you have it. You have this trend line that's holding the higher lows. Now, all this area is a very tough area of resistance. We can draw it like this. All this area, very tough resistance. So if you want to go long on Nvidia, this is your resistance area, only above it. Or wait for some kind of a pullback towards this trend line over here, the 430, 434. We also can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. 443 to the downside is now the support. Below it, 401. Netflix, 442. Still very tough resistance. Each week we count how many candles on the weekly already got rejected by this 443. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 candles, which means 3 months of sideways move on Netflix. 443 to the upside, only a weekly close above it, and then we are heading towards the 485 above it. By the end of 2023, in my opinion, we will see 630 below this trend line, below this lower yellow trend line, and weekly close below this area, the 412 with this yellow trend line, 392. Then we have a slight gap over here at the 383 and 373 are the next support. Tesla, another week, another doji, another indecision in the market. And as we can see, 260, very tough resistance for Tesla's bulls. If bulls of Tesla will give up on this area of the 260, this purple trend line will need to hold the support. Otherwise, 214 and then 200 to the downside. If you want to go long on Tesla, 2 or 3 days only above the 260 towards this purple trend line. Shopify, as you can see, trend lines are your Fibonacci, are your best friend for support and resistance. Earnings, collaboration with Amazon, it doesn't matter. 69, all this area, the 67 and the 69, tough resistance. And here the 56, very important level of support. Last week we had, in the past week we had an inside candle that closed at the almost the low of the week, breaking below this low, and we are heading towards the 59.20. If you want to go long on Shopify, only above 67 or maybe even above the 69, because as we can see, the same price range that we had over here to the upside, we can get the same price range over here, but this time to the downside. Don't forget, zoom in to the daily to get a better point of view of price action. And here we are breaking below this gap, this low gap, inside the gap, below this candle's low, inside the gap, towards the 6's gap. Zoom in, zoom out, follow price, use Fibonacci and trend lines. They are your best friend for the high probability where price might be heading next. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget to hit the notification bell on so you don't miss more videos incoming during this weekend. Until the next video, enjoy the rest of your weekend.